Hey everybody, welcome to Country Girl. Today I'm going to be making a Valentine gnome. I have seen these little gnomes everywhere. It just seems like they're popping up all over the internet. This is the in thing to do this year. So anyway, I am going to make two gnomes. I was going to make one first and then come back and do another one for y'all so I can make sure that I got it right. But knowing my luck, the first one that I wouldn't record would probably be the one that turned out the best. So I'm just going to start making them and we'll just see which one comes out in editing. But anyway, I do want to let you know that I'm not going to go over every single piece that you're going to need for this project just because I always end up forgetting something. So I'll tell you what I'm using as I do it, and then at the end of the video or in the description box below I will list all the supplies and everything that you're going to need to make one of these little gnomes. This is not all Dollar Tree items, although some of the things I am using are from the Dollar Tree. The very first thing that you are going to need is a sock, and we have so many socks that doesn't have their mates that this was not a difficult thing for me to find. I just went in Caitlin's drawer and pulled out one. And then of course I had another one for the second one that I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one first. And I'm going to take some rice and I'm going to fill it up because this is going to make the body of the little gnome. And so anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, because I don't want this to be a really big gnome, I'm going to cut this sock off about right here above the heel. And if you want to put this over a jar, you know, and make it easier for you to fill up, you can. You can also use a funnel. I am going to use a jar just because it seems like I'm having difficulty already. So just stretch your little sock over this jar here, and you could put a rubber band around it if you want to hold it in place. And then you can just start to pour your rice into your sock. Now you can fill this whole body up with rice if you want to, or you can actually use a little bit of stuffing too. The rice mainly is going to be on the bottom just to give it a little bit of weight. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. It doesn't matter either way. I think I am going to put a little bit of stuffing in mine. That's about how big that I'm going to want his body to be. So now I'm just going to take some string and I'm going to tie it off here. You can put a rubber band around it if you want to. You know, it's whatever works for you. So now that you've got the body, how you want it to be, now we are going to do the beard. And I did get two different kinds. I got a pink fur, and then I also got the white fur because I did want to do one of each. This one I got at Hobby Lobby. It was $3.49, and this one I ended up getting at Joann's Crafts. That was $2.49. So of course, you know, Hobby Lobby, you have a 40% off coupon. And anyway, I'm going to go ahead and open these up. I think I am going to start with a white first. So what you're going to do is just open this up, and you are going to want to cut a triangle shape or a V shape for the beard. And so yeah, I'm going to go up probably about this far when I cut it, and you do want to kind of wrap around a little bit. So I am probably just going to, you don't want to cut into the back part of your fur, so you're going to want to, let me see if I can find me an X-Acto knife. Okay, so you're not going to want to just take your scissors and cut straight across this, because if you do, you're going to be cutting some of the fur that's supposed to hang down here. So what I suggest to do is to take you an X-Acto knife and just try and cut through this piece only. Because I'm just going to cut it about where I think I may want it to be. So maybe about right here. I'm just going to cut it across. All right, you see how that hangs down? And if I would have took scissors and cut straight across that, I would have been cutting all that off too, and you don't want to do that. So anyway, this is the piece that I have right now, and I am going to go ahead and make a V cut in here. So right here is where I'm at, and I may have to take a little bit of that off. So right now, you know, his beard's dragging the ground a little bit. So I am going to cut just a little bit more off the top. Alright, so let's see how this looks. So I think I am going to just glue it like this. And if I need to when I get done, I can always just kind of like trim the bottom of this. So I'm going to go ahead and take my hot glue. And I'm going to run it over this. Just put a little bit here. Because I want this to stay. And then I'm just going to wrap it around there and glue that down. All right, so that is the beard, and I'm going to put a little nose piece on. And this I ended up having to buy beads because all of my craft stores were out of the round wood balls. You can purchase these on Amazon, but you got like 100 of them, and I just did not need that many. So anyway, I went ahead and got these, and it's okay because I really feel like the fur is going to hide the little holes on each end of this. So what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to hot glue the little nose down. So I'm just going to spread this apart a little bit here, and then I'm going to put the nose right here with some hot glue. And when you put the fur back around it, you're really not going to notice those two little holes on the side. And you do want to do that about a ½ inch from the top of the where you have the beard glued. Just hold that on until the glue is pretty secure. Alright, so now I'm going to work on the hat, and I think for this one I'm going to do a gray hat because I do want to make some little red felt hearts and glue on the gray. I just think that would be really pretty together. So also something that you can do too, this is a one of those, I guess, microfiber towels from the Dollar Tree that you get in the auto section for like drying your car and stuff like that. You could also use this too if you wanted to for the hat versus the felt. You could also use another sock if you wanted to do that. So there's all different kinds of ways that you can do this. But I'm going to use the felt, and I am going to want to cut a cone shape for the felt because when you roll it up, you do want it to come to a point. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scissors, pin back here, and I'm going to, first I'm just going to kind of start a little wide because if I want to take some off, I can. And you are going to want enough to wrap around this here. So that's going to take just about all of that. So I'm going to start on the corner here. Just go up. So putting that on, as you see, I just kind of wrapped it around his head, and I'm seeing how it's going to look like this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just glue it right on the edge. I don't want a lot of overlap because I actually think that I cut in too deep, to be honest with you. This is where measuring comes in handy and where I always get myself in trouble. But I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm going to go ahead and close this up and then see if I can't make this work on this little guy's head. I am going to take some floral wire, which you know, I bought this at the Dollar Tree. And I am going to want to put a piece on the inside. This is just going to give me the ability to bend this around how I want it to be. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to. You just want yours to stand straight up. That'll be fine too. So I do just want to measure me a piece. It's going to be the length of the hat. And then clip that off. And then I'm just going to hot glue that along the side here. All right. And so now that I got that in, now I'm going to fold my little hat over and I am going to glue this at the seam. So I'm just going to start just on the edge here. And this stuff will glue down really, really good. And I am going to cut some of this off. All right. And I'm going to put some stuffing up in this little hat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop kind of like about right here because I do want to have it hollow to be able to go down over this piece. And I'm taking some more off of this little piece here too. All right, so as you can see now, my hat fits it a lot better. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue around the edge here, and then I'm going to set it here and pull it down as far as I can. So y'all know, felt and hot glue makes a mess. All right, so I want my seam in the back to be like that. I'm just going to hold it until that dries. And what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to take some leftover felt that I've got and probably going to try and glue it around the bottom here just so that you don't see that purple. It's not a huge deal, but for me, I'm going to be setting it up and I don't want that to show. So I'm just going to move his beard out of the way. I'm going to hot glue the gray around the base here, just so that that's not seen. This little guy is just going to be a piece together something. But you know what? It's okay. Because when I do my second one, I'm going to have learned from my mistakes on this first one. If you have a sock that's a weird color and you don't want it to show, You can take your leftover felt and do the same thing. And then I had a little strip here also, and what I'm going to do is I am going to hot glue it around just to kind of like secure that and close that in. Then once you have your little beard and everything down like it's supposed to be, you won't see any of that. Alright, so I have a bunch of different little goodies that I can use to decorate the hat. I ended up taking another little piece of the beard and I put it over top of this, and when you layer them like that you really cannot tell because the beard's going down. I just wanted to have a little bit more over top of his nose area and around his nose area, and so to cover that, because now my little hat don't go down, I am going to use some kind of trim. I don't know if I'm going to do it like this. That would be a cute option. And I did pick these up at the Target dollar spot last year. I also have these little felt hearts. And I think I like them the best, so I think that is what I am going to go with here. So I'm just going to measure this out. And I'm going to hot glue that down. So that's what I've got here. And I can, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut a few of these little hearts out, and then I'm going to hot glue them all over his hat. Well, I felt like this little guy here's pieced together, you know, because I was having to make things work. The main thing, I feel like that I did not get the felt piece wide enough to completely go around the top part of his head. That was an error, but, you know, I was able to correct it. However, the next one that I do, I will be measuring. Again, I will put the measurements down in the description box so you will know exactly how much to do. And I am going to record me doing the second one, and that way you can see, you know, exactly how it's supposed to be done. And then again, you know, for the base of this, I did have to kind of like piece together the bottom just because I did not want the purple of the sock showing. If you do have a gray sock or something like that, you know, you can leave it like it is, or you know, I wanted to use just my scrap pieces, so I just pieced that together, but you can do like a whole circle and do it that way. But anyway, I still think he turned out cute. I've got some glue that I need to, you know, little spider web pieces of the glue that I need to get off of here. And then, you know, this fur does shed, so you will need to maybe roll it with a lint roller when you're done. But like I said, overall, I think he turned out really cute. So that is this little gnome here. See if I can back that off so that you can see him. And then I'm going to, you know, do my next one and show you what that looks like. So this is what my little gnome looks like. This was fairly simple. The other one that I did was a little bit more detailed. Again, he's a little bit different. His beard is dragging down on the ground a little bit, whereas the other one was a little bit shorter and he stood taller. But yeah, so I think it turned out really cute. It really don't take a lot to do this. This is a very simple and easy project, and it just looks so adorable mixed in with all your cute little Valentine's Day decorations. I hope y'all enjoyed watching today's video. Thank you for sharing a part of your day with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.